Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Rosalio Turbiartes here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into Whis from the Dragon Ball Super anime. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So let's get started. No worldly power on Earth exists without being checked by another. And in the Dragon Ball universe, even the gods have angels who look after them. These angels do not just look after their gods, but they are also responsible for training and cultivating their skills. So they're always ready to defend or maybe even destroy the universe. Whatever they decide to do with their power is no relevance to the angels anyhow, as they live far beyond the gods' lifespan, even if the universe were to be no more. A fact that Whis of the 7th universe smugly reminds his Lord Beerus of often. Despite his non-conventional approach to servitude, Whis has become a beloved Dragon Ball character, and today we'll be diving into his character. Whis debuted alongside with Beerus in the Dragon Ball movie Battle of Gods as a supporting antagonist. His role in the movie was serving as Beerus' aide, and more so as his intergalactic chauffeur to Earth. The Z-Force first meets him when he introduces himself to the rest of the cast at Bulma's party, where he and Beerus crash the party and enjoy the copious amounts of prepared food. We won't go into more detail about the movie here, as it is more about Beerus than it is about Whis. If you'd like to hear more about the events about this movie, or looking to dive into Lord Beerus' character, feel free to check out Lord Beerus' deep dive that we put out not too long ago after we're done here. When Whis returns to Dragon Ball Super, we see him regularly visit Earth to visit Bulma so she can have him try new Earth food, even without his master's approval. During one of these visits, Vegeta asks Whis to train him as a student. Whis is hesitant instantly, but after being presented with a delicious bowl of ramen, he is quickly persuaded. Goku begs to join as well, but Whis is against the idea due to how annoying Goku can be. But nothing less, Goku is still invited to tag along. After a brief training in Beerus' planet, Whis notices a significant difference in the Saiyans' sparring ability. Not only their power has increased, but also the technique they use in combat has become more refined. Unfortunately, the sophistication of their combat doesn't last that long, as Goku and Vegeta eventually devolve down to the Saiyan equivalent of a slap fight. Whis quickly intervenes before the situation can get much worse. Not long after this, Lord Beerus awakens from his slumber in a foul mood, primarily because he's discovered that Whis has been making Earth's food runs without him. Admitting fault, Whis apologizes by offering Beerus some freshly made pizza he brought home. This more than soothes the angry Beerus. After this, Whis receives a call from Bulma on Earth telling him to bring Goku and Vegeta back immediately, as Frieza, a formidable adversary of the Z-Fighters, has been revived on Earth. Although Whis was sympathetic towards Bulma's problem, he wouldn't budge until he was given something worth his while. So once Bulma offered him a strawberry parfait she had been saving, the three of them and Bulma made their way to Earth. Once there, Beerus and Whis leave the fight to Goku and Vegeta, deeming that their interference will be disrespectful to the laws of the universe, and also interfere with them eating their newfound strawberry-flavored snack. Eventually, Whis will have to interfere when Frieza destroys the Earth by using a newly revealed ability of his, time reversal. Whis is able to turn back time just for 3 minutes. Not much time for the grand scheme of things, but just enough time for Earth to be restored and for Goku and Vegeta to undo the blunder they committed previously and kill Frieza again. Whis continues to take Goku and Vegeta back to Beerus' planet to train periodically, but one day they are met by an unexpected visitor, and her destroyer master Champa. Champa has arrived to settle a disagreement and, with the help of Goku, decides that the best way to do so is with a tournament of champions. Although Whis is present for this arc, he doesn't play a substantial role. However, between the commentary with Beerus on the sideline, he can be seen occasionally repairing the battlefield alongside with Vada. Following Beerus and the 7th universe victory over the 6th universe, they are visited by the Omni King of the universe, King Zeno. Both Beerus and Whis are humbled and confused by his presence, But all he is there is to announce that he has been watching the tournament and now wants to host his own. While the Sea Fighters seem to be interested, Beerus and Whis are extremely afraid. Most likely due to the duo's knowledge of how destructive Zeno can be when he wants to have fun, and even more so when he doesn't want to have fun. Putting these fears aside, Beerus is given the Dragon Balls by Champa, and Whis is the one who actually summons and communicates with Beerus to wish Zalama, the dragon god of the Super Dragon Balls. It's interesting because in this scene, we see Whis being able to fully understand and comprehend the divine language despite not being a god himself. Finally, after blurring the line between angel and god, Whis brings everyone home to Earth so they can begin training for King Zeno's Tournament of Power. While training, though, they are interrupted by future Trunks returning to the past once again looking for help. This time, however, the androids are no longer a problem, but instead, it is a villain that bears Goku's face. The Z Fighters are clueless as to how this could happen, but it's actually Whis, along with Beerus, who notices that on the hand of the invader is a time ring, a piece of jewelry that is so powerful that only Supreme Kais are able to wield it. They send Goku in to fight him while Beerus and Whis watch, and sure enough, it reminded them of a Supreme Kai in training of the 10th universe, Zamasu. Whis flies to the 10th universe to get an explanation, and sure enough, the energies between Goku Black and Zamasu match. Whis, Beerus, and Goku don't act immediately. Instead, they first go down to the surface and hear if any of the time rings are missing. When the Supreme Kai shows that they are all accounted for, the trio leaves the Kais be. But in actuality, they stay within the surveillance distance to watch if Zamasu makes an attempt on the Supreme Kai's life. Sure enough, what they suspected comes to pass. Luckily though, Whis was able to rewind time to the point right before Zamasu does the act. After explaining what happened to the Supreme Kai, Beerus promptly eliminates Zamasu. Beerus and Whis assure that Goku Black should no longer be a threat as Zamasu should be wiped out from this future if he's dead now. However, Whis later concludes that instead of removing Zamasu from the future, what they did by killing Zamasu was create two separate timelines, one where he exists and one where he doesn't exist. As a result, they now have the additional time ring in circulation due to the alternate timeline that has been added. A good example is that while the gods of the Dragon Ball universe may be all powerful, they are very rarely all knowing. After this, Whis and Beerus instruct Bulma to destroy her time machine because they know how fragile the space-time continuum is. This is a little hypocritical, though, as moments before, they return future Trunks and the future Mai to an alternate timeline where he can live happily with one another in peace since their timeline got destroyed. Unfortunately, this inadvertently also created another time ring, as their presence in another timeline created another diverging timeline. One where Trunks returns to that future and another where he doesn't. After that, Whis convinces Beerus not to fool with time ever again. I have to say, I can't blame him because all of this complicated time travel stuff is getting confusing, to say the least. After this, Whis and Beerus sit and wait for the Tournament of Power to begin so they can take their spot on the sidelines once again. It's in this arc, though, that Whis' coaching actually comes to fruition. Whis knew that during Goku's training, he didn't have what it takes to be a destroyer, but he was still grooming him for godly power. This preparation comes to light in the form of Ultra Instinct, which, while not reliably obtainable, is insanely powerful, which was Goku's whole goal for training with Whis. After this, Whis silently watches the 7th universe saves the multiverse, primarily thanks to his pupil's newly found power. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the services Skillshare provides, you can get access to many depth tutorial videos on basically anything you want to learn. Each class that they have is bound to help you with any creative endeavors. Do you want to learn how to make videos like this one? Do you want to learn how to write scripts or edit audios? Skillshare has caught you covered. And with our link, you can have a 14 free day trial. So what are you waiting for? Click the link now and get 14 days of worth of classes free. Link in the description below. Continuing on, We'll now discuss Whis' appearance. Whis, like all other angels, has a light blue skin tone with a long white hair that he chooses to style in a spike pointing up from his head. Whis' attire consists of a red robe, a black underdress with a similar white and orange gem decorating that Beerus has, a blue slash, and a large ring that surrounds his neck and shoulders. He also wields a staff that is also standard amongst angels, with a dark orb that hovers just above the top of it. He also sports a unique pair of black high heels which, while a particular choice of a martial artist, Whis clearly rocks them. Now moving on to Whis' abilities, which admittedly aren't very excessive. While Whis does have the power of a god, he doesn't really have all that many combat ready abilities. Many of them come from a form of traditional martial arts, such as the Strike of Relevation, which, as cool as it sounds, is really just a karate chop in a pressure point. However, more impressive is Whis' mimicry to cop another fighter's abilities after only seeing it once, although this too has its limitations, and is used infrequently throughout the Dragon Ball series. Where Whis really shines through are his passive abilities. For starters, so long as he follows the laws of the angels, Whis is immortal, and top of that, he feels no discomfort through the cold vacuum of space. Likewise, any damage he does take, he can just heal with his healing ability. Not only can he use the ability on himself, but he can also use it on others. Beyond that, though, Whis can also bring people back from the dead. This leads us to his assistive ability, starting with his more well-known being his warp ability. As a chauffeur of the universe, he's more often one that transports himself, Beerus, and the Z-Fighters in between solar systems or even galaxies. With the farthest journey they ever took was only a few hours, and that was the center of the universe. But that's just long distance. For short to medium range distances, Whis can just teleport. Furthermore, Whis also possesses a wide variety of telekinetic abilities, such as heart read, which allows him to read the feelings in the victim's heart. He also has the ability to hear conversations anywhere in the universe with the use of his divination ability. As a reminder, don't count Whis out of a good fight just because he plays a more assistive role in most of his fights. In Lord Beerus' own words, he is the strongest being that he has ever fought with, not even feeling the full extent of his power. So think of Whis as a sleeping giant that is kept dormant with copious amounts of cakes and cookies. Will he lash at you if he won't get them? Probably not. But you also won't get help when you need it. And if a universal threat does require his help, you're going to wish you did. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all of this information. Thus far, I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials have got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join our team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for new members to join us. Well, that's it from us from today's video, so thank you for watching and have a great day.